good afternoon or good evening or good morning, whatever time it is when you view this video. This video is actually going to be done at the request of one of my faithful subscribers. He wanted me to talk about blindness. And you know, while most of my focus was on incontinence, I was thinking about what he said and I was like, yeah, I really should put some focus on blindness because that also is a stigmatized condition. I didn't really think about it so much because I don't even really think of my blindness as too much of a hindrance. I think of it maybe as an obstacle or a challenge at times, but I don't really think of myself as being handicapped or disabled because I pretty much do everything everybody else does. I have a normal job. I'm the only blind person at my job. Everybody in our workforce can see except me. And I have the same duties as everybody else. I hang out with everybody else. I act like and function like everybody else. I just do some things differently. But I don't really think of myself as being significantly impaired. But unfortunately, there is a nasty stigma about blindness. And you would think being in the 21st century that it would not be so, but it's true. There have been blind parents who have children removed from their homes when they're born because you have overzealous hospital workers thinking that the child is in perilous danger and the blind mother or father is going to do something really horrible to the child, or the blind parents are not adequate enough to take care of their children, and it's really heartbreaking to rip families apart on those grounds because that isn't so. Blindness is not going to hinder somebody's ability to care for their children. I have watched several children over the years, and not one child has ever been injured, and not one child has ever suffered at my hands. Things went very smoothly. And also keep in mind, even children who belong to sighted parents incur injuries. I mean, it's a rite of passage to break some bones, get some bruises or some scrapes. I mean, thankfully I never broken any bones growing up, but I've gotten my share of bumps and bruises and scrapes. So I mean, injuries are going to happen whether the parents are sighted or blind because kids are kids. But if a blind parent takes their child to the hospital who was injured on the monkey bars, they're going to be scrutinized even more so because they're blind. They're going to get ridiculous questions such as, why isn't anybody there with you helping you take care of your kid? Why are you unsupervised? Well, excuse me, we are just blind. We don't have any cognitive impairments. We are not mentally challenged in any way. We don't suffer any thing that would impair our ability. We have normal kids who like to be kids and do all sorts of crazy things that kids do. And so we have that to deal with, and then we even have people thinking that we as blind folks need a caregiver 24/7, like we can't take care of ourselves. I remember one time I was traveling, I was taking the buses, and I asked somebody to let me know when a bus was going to arrive because I was coming home from the store, and the person has the nerve to get in my face and say, what on earth are you doing out by yourself? Why isn't somebody with you? Where's your caregiver? And I said, excuse me? What kind of assumption is that? So when I got this request from my subscriber who is blind in one eye and has a chance of losing his sight in the other, I sat and thought about it and thought about it. And when I was doing that, I was thinking of how much discrimination there still is among the blind and what ridiculous assumptions about blind people still exist and the misconceptions. And so I really like his idea. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't know if he wants it mentioned, and I try to really do everything I can to respect my subscribers or even those who just give me feedback randomly. And, you know, I don't do that unless they tell me to. But, you know, there is a lot of work that has to be done to correct the stigmas about a lot of conditions. In the coming weeks, I am going to talk about blindness as well as any other stigmatizing conditions along with incontinence, because there is so much work that has to be done until all of us who have any form of disability, condition, health problem, whatever, are treated equally. And we are entitled to the same respect and the same courtesies as everybody else. We are not any less a human being because we have something wrong with us. And that just isn't fair to think that we shouldn't be worthy of the same respect and courtesies. So I think that it's going to take education on our parts, we as individuals with disabilities or conditions or diseases or whatever have you, to correct people's thinking in our society. And we have a lot of work ahead of us. I mean, this is going to be no easy task, because sometimes no matter what you do, people are going to remain ignorant by choice. But at least with our efforts, we can bring about change. Because in many cases, if you look over the history books, okay, you just study our history, inventions brought about by one person has changed civilization forever. Ideas brought about just by one individual has now changed the way that we as a society function. So why can't we, as individuals with disabilities, conditions, diseases, whatever have you, stand up and bring about the same change? We need to do that, and that's what I'm doing today and here on out, because I feel like the courage is needed. So, in a nutshell about blindness, blind people are not incapable. We can function just like you. We can manage our bank accounts, our finances. We go to work. A lot of us have families. A lot of us love to travel and take vacations. There are blind people who even tour the world by themselves. I bet you wouldn't think that was possible, but it is. There have been blind folks who even go backpacking, who climb Mount Everest. I mean, blindness does not have to be something that stops us from living our lives and working toward our dreams. It is a minor obstacle. So that is what I am going to seek to help the public understand in the next few weeks or so, when I have videos of me doing different things like cooking, cleaning, even walking up and down stairs. I mean, I've been treated like I was paralyzed because I'm blind. I have had people fight with me about taking the stairs, saying it's so dangerous, and you know, this is in my travels when taking the metros and things like that. People always insist I take the elevator, but no, even something as simple as going up and down stairs, I've got to prove to the public that blind people can do it. And hopefully after doing that, we'll see some changes about how people view people with various disabilities, diseases, and conditions. So thanks for watching, and I really hope to have you all understand that blind people are just like everyone else. We're individuals, and we are unique in our own way, and we can contribute to society. We're not helpless. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this was
How do you like that?